We all love Midjourney, and Midjourney is capable of producing some fantastic art. But sometimes we want to stretch our artistic legs. We want to try things that are not necessarily approved by Midjourney. And we are often greeted by the dreaded, your account is banned for 5 minutes, or you shouldn't use naughty words like that. It seems a bit too restrictive in some cases. So if you want to create spicier images like this, or even this, then I've got the AI art generator for you. I want to introduce you to Mage.Space. Mage.Space is a Stable Diffusion based AI art generator, but they take away the limitations of filters, and they will create a lot of decent artwork for you that is not necessarily safe for YouTube. So I'm going to approach this as gently as I possibly can. But first, I need to start off with the downside of Mage.Space. The downside is that if you want to create anything decent or indecent, as the case may be, you're going to need to pay for their service. So let me show you what you get in the unpaid version here. You come to the screen where it says create anything. Now, this is a typical Stable Diffusion type system. So if you're used to something like Playground AI, this will definitely be familiar to you. You click on the View Options button, and you can then see all the various models that this is trained with. And as you can see, all of them, with exception of one, is set up for the Pro one. You have several different options here. You can use Stable Diffusion. It gives you a bunch of different layouts that you can use, different step ratings. I highly recommend using the high step version, and several different guidance scales as to how strictly you want to follow the prompts that you are entering in. That this does not allow not safe for work content in the unpaid version. Okay, you have to pay for the system. So what does this cost? Let's just check into that, because that's the big elephant in the room. All right, so here are the basic plans. You have the free plan, which will allow you to basically create images within Stable Diffusion 1.5. No models, no bells and whistles, no not safe for work content. Then there's the basic plan, which will basically allow you to create non-safe for work content and have multiple windows open at the same time to create several things at once. But it's also restricted to only Stable Diffusion 1.5 and Stable Diffusion 2.1. Now, if you want access to everything, that's the $15 per month package. And that gives you everything, the not safe for work models. All the models are included in the system, no ads, multiple sessions, etc. If you create an account, unpaid account, you can then get access to Stable Diffusion 2.1 as well. You also have access to these prompts down here. However, if you click on the advanced mode up here in the box, it will then ask you to log in with your account. So let me log in with my account here real quick. Okay, so now that I'm logged in with my account, you can see that I have the full paid account. But if you're doing the basic account, then you're only going to have access to Stable Diffusion 1.5 and 2.1, as I said. If you click on the advanced button up here, these options below change. They still allow you the same type of different aspect ratios, but they also allow you to have greater control over the steps and the guidance. You can also input a seed from an image that you have, and you can also easily put in negative prompts. One of the things that paid accounts also let you do is they give you access to this privacy button down the lower left-hand corner. So you can click on private, and your images will not show up in the public feed. So if you're doing something that only you want to see, that's a good button to have. Now, just to go over some of these models that I've been looking at that I find very useful. Tell you what, let me just go over the ones that I really like and that I use on a regular basis. I use Open Journey, which gives me some great results, and I'll show you some results here in a few minutes. I use Deliberate, which is good for photorealistic images. I use Dream Shaper, which if I want something in a more artistic style, Dream Shaper is really good for that. If I am looking for something in the Disney Pixar version, there is this model here. One of the other ones I'll use, which they just added recently, is Anything 3.0. This is a great one for doing anime images. And also there is Grapefruit, which is for doing really not safe for work images. Use this one when you want to create something that the other ones won't seemingly create for you. But there are a lot of models. There's like 20 models in here, and I highly recommend playing with each one of them. You'll notice that each one has a tag, set of tags on there, like fine-tuned, which means that this model has been primed for this specific type of image, the type of image that it creates, like photorealism. So if you're looking for photography-based images, photorealism is the one you want to go for. And then the NSFW, which means not safe for work, of course. You'll see other ones for like anime, pixel art, vector art. Some of these are just a lot of fun. You can create some amazing images that are safe for work in here, as well as ones that are not safe for work. Let me give you a few examples of safe for work versions, because I like my YouTube channel and I don't want anything to go on with it. So if I do something along the lines of this, we're just going to do something very simple like a elf in a forest. We'll start with Open Journey here and see what it gives us. We're going to do a square landscape just so we can see what the image looks like very easily. Let it generate. Takes a couple minutes. This is the type of image that Open Journey creates for us. Very nice image. You have the options here of upscaling it by clicking on the Enhance button, rerunning it, remixing it, which means adding more prompts to it, and then rerunning the same seed. You can also choose, if you create something that you like, you can make public, and then that will put that on the public feed for everyone to take a look at, see the prompts that you used, etc. Also, all the images you create are added to your own personal feed. So if you're used to how Midjourney creates your own personal feed, it does the same thing here. I'll show you that in a little bit. So now that we understand what Open Journey can create, let's take a look at some of the other models that are here. So for example, this one's photorealism. So if we click on this, let's see what we get. As you can see, it gives us a slightly different image, but still very artistic, very nice image. And again, we can rerun this and see what else we get. But let's take a look at a couple of the other models and see what we get. Like this Dream Shaper, which is more of an artistic version. So let's see what they give us. And again, you can see that gives us basically exactly what we're looking for in a very nice pastel kind of look. However, if we go to some of the anime-based ones, for example, anything here, let's see what this gives us. Okay, so as you can see, the image that returned definitely has much more of an anime look to it, though it still followed the prompts that we gave it very nicely. It uses a palette of greens and pinks in a dreamy kind of image, butterflies around, still does exactly what we asked it to do. But it's different from the other ones enough to the point where you might want to investigate these other models to really hone in on the image that you're looking for. And then we'll give this one more final try under a different one called Grapefruit. Let's see what this one comes up with. So Grapefruit actually returned us a nice safe for work image. So you can see here, one of the things that it didn't do very well is this one seems to be a lot lower resolution than what I'd like. But you can upscale this and get a better resolution image if you want. So just to give you something else to, different type of artwork, we're going to do one of a pirate here. And we'll start off with Open Journey here to see what kind of art we could expect from that. And as you can see, Open Journey returns kind of a cartoonish image here. And of course, you can always hit rerun on these just to give yourself some more options in there. That is one of the drawbacks about this, is you can only create one image at a time, whereas with Midjourney or with Playground, you can generate up to 4 images at a time. So this is the deliberate model. As you can see, it's much more of a realistic image. Still looks like a painting, but it's a much better image than what OpenJourney gave us. Then, of course, if we just jump straight over into the anime version, you'll see that we get something else that's completely different. With the same prompts, just jumping from one model to another, you get completely different image types. And that's one of the things I really like about Mage.Space. That gives you an idea as to how to create prompts within Mage.Space. And now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to the main screen here. So like when you go to Midjourney, you have the community screen, which is basically what you see here. I don't want to scroll too far because I never know what's going to pop up in here. But you'll notice one of the things it does up here is it sorts out the artwork by the type of artwork that it is. So if you want to see what cyberpunk looks like, click on cyberpunk, and it gives you a completely different feed of images. And as you can see, the quality of the images here are actually quite good. There are a lot of different ways to play with this, and you can get a lot of different styles of images and a lot of different inspiration from looking at the community feed. Of course, you can click on something and it will show you what the prompt is. I mean, this one is just simply Dragons on KLCC. There are some ones that will give you much more detailed prompts, which is very good. And if you click on the show more button down here, it will show you the negative prompts that it used for that particular image. You have a lot of different styles of artwork on here, not just not safe for work. So it's definitely something that I think is worth the money, but whether you think it's worth the money is something that is completely up to you and your comfort level on spending money on these types of things. But in any case, that's been my review of Mage.Space. I hope you guys liked it. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do leave them down below, as I always love hearing from you guys. And as always, I wish you a fantastic day. Have a great one, everyone. Bye-bye.